We saw federal layoffs, and now the state and local layoffs are coming, and the city layoffs are coming. So check out LA. LA is facing $1 billion deficit, and that is with a B.
City of LA has a budget of about $8 billion. We found out last week, shockingly, that they're about $1 billion short going into this next fiscal year. Why? Well, tax revenue is down. They get sales tax, business tax, they get occupancy tax from hotels. Those numbers have been down. Plus, they've been spending a lot of money on things like lawsuits, LAPD, illegal use of force lawsuits, or people tripping on the sidewalk, which hasn't been repaired. That's about $300 million they've been spending on litigation. So what can they do next? Well, they're going to have to reduce spending, reduce services, increase fees on trash collection. That'll go up. And plus possibly eliminating positions, not hundreds. The city administrative officer says maybe thousands of positions. The unions don't like that. So going forward, the city's trying to figure out how to balance its budget and limit the pain.
Not an M, right? Not $1 million, $1 billion deficit. So this is absolutely crazy. And to top it all off, it's even articles are even saying Los Angeles is broke and LA people can feel it. And I've been there multiple times. I actually really like the city, but they got to get a few things under control so that the city can be flourishing and just being super popular again to back where it was used to in the early 2010s, 2015s, and in the early 2000s. Because when I look at these numbers that I got on here, it's saying that LA has spent $3.3 billion on police force. Los Angeles Fire Department, $866 million. Emergency communication preparedness, $64 million. Homelessness services, $1.3 billion. Infrastructure capital, $280 million. Parks, $148 million. Liberty and animal shelters, $51 million. Public safety, $98 million. Bikeway greenbelts and stormwater system, $33 million. City workers pension, $1.2 billion. Healthcare retirement employees, $372 million. Legal settlements and liability claims, $120 million. And you can just go on and see all these type of crazy things where the budget is just keep racking up, and they're just not making enough. So now we're looking at where does all the money come from in LA? Where's all the money coming from? And I got those numbers too. In LA, most of the money that they're making is from tax revenue, from tourism, from services, and all kinds of other things. So people go movies, they want to see LA, they go see tourism, travel, and all kinds of related stuff like that. So now we're going to get to the issue. And before we're going to get into the issue, before you're going to be like, this is all nonsense, I'm telling you, this is how it's going to go from somebody that owns a business and that has owned businesses before. So if you cannot get the homelessness problem under control, business owners are not going to invest. And now for these people that are going to be like, that's not an issue, then I want you, listen close to me right now. I want you to sell your 401k, take a huge risk, and open up a shop right in here. And you would probably not do it. You would not take out all that risk to do it. But entrepreneurs, immigrants, and other people take that risk every day to do that. But they cannot take that risk if you have all these people laying on your street, doing drugs and doing all kinds of stuff. And since I'm always like, hey, trying to put a positive vibe on it, in order to get this under control, you need like emergency shelter, you need to offer haircuts, you need to try to reintegrate them into society. And I looked at Google and I see how many homeless people there are, and the numbers vary from like 50, 60, 70,000 people. So there's not enough even emergency shelter beds. There's only like 18, 20,000 emergency shelter beds for these people that are homeless, right? And so you need to increase that. And I saw a video before I came here, but I couldn't find it afterwards. I scrolled past and I saw that there's people in that sector that are making 200 grand a year. And those are the people that are sucking the system dry, and rather them actually giving those services, they take that in salary, and then you can't provide the service because there's not a lot of money left, right? And so if you want to make more tax money, if you want to have your city be better balanced and more well funded, you need to make it so entrepreneurs, people that want to own stores, people that have that dream, is it easy to access it? Because if you're gonna let them come in, and we all seen these people that went to CVS and they just ride out with their bikes, and you can't stop them. You can't stop them. You can't ask them questions, and they just to like $900 or something. You just kind of do whatever you want, and that is really hurting small businesses. It's even hurting huge corporations. That's why they're closing down in San Francisco too. So if you can get that under control and say, hey, we need to reintegrate and help these people out, do the right thing, all of a sudden business owners are going to sign 10, 15-year leases again, and then say, hey, I'll personally guarantee it. Because a lot of you guys aren't in the entrepreneurship world that don't know what it means to, hey, I gotta sign a 15 to 10-year personal guarantee on it, regardless if my LLC goes under, right? Because there's always these clickbaiters that say, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go finance a G-Wagon, a freaking crazy car out there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna finance it in a business name, and if this doesn't go out, we'll just toss it all out. Life doesn't work like that. If you have that kind of stuff, you gotta sign a personal guarantee. They'll give you the loan, don't get me wrong, if you got the credit score, you got the history, they'll give you the loan, but you personally have to guarantee it, especially if you're a small business, right? So when you're gonna be starting off, you're gonna have to do that. And so nobody in their right mind would say, I'm willing to take on that risk and then open up with the picture that I saw, right? And so all of a sudden, if you do have these people moving in, you're gonna say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Then all of a sudden, you're gonna have tax revenue coming in. You're gonna have other services coming in. You're employing more people because as a business owner, you wanna grow. You wanna do things. And then you're gonna have stuff like you can see over here, bouncy castles, your employees, because they have money, they have jobs. So more money's in circulation, right? Then all of a sudden they go and buy other services, and so there's industries created. But if you cannot get that under control, and when you call 911 and they say, oh, we can't do nothing, then all of a sudden it's gonna really stall growth. People don't want to invest, people pull back, and then your city's gonna run in deficit. And now they're talking about letting go thousands of employees because of their misguided policies. And now you say, oh, it's a blue city, it's a blue thing. It doesn't really matter if it's red or blue. It's just that it's mismanaged. Crooks are on both sides of the aisle, right? It doesn't matter if it's red, green, blue, purple. At the end of the day, it's the people that voted them in, and then they're not watching after their constituents, right? They go to Washington, D.C., do their thing, and then they come back and they basically ruin your cities, they ruin your streets, and your community is going to be paying a huge price. Because these cities, some of these U.S. cities, could be the most gorgeous cities in the world. And I think we can go back there, but we need to make sure that, hey, we make sure that these homeless people, that they are taken care of, that we can say, hey, and I'm not talking about giving more money to them. No, we got to find out what works. Emergency shelter, helping them out, getting them medical care, doing all this kind of other stuff without costing bazillions of dollars, because you know somebody's making a killer living off of it and is stalling progress, right? And the next thing then it says, hey, we need to get entrepreneurs. We need to get people that are willing to take risks to start a business and to provide services to community. So last time I was in downtown LA, it is brutal. It is like right now, Allie's pregnant, and I would not want Allie to walk around in downtown LA by herself, because you just do not know what's gonna happen. And I do not want that for any of you guys either, because if they're gonna do stupid ideas, they're gonna, oh, let me get a purse, let me snatch this, do this. It's just not gonna be good for anybody. So you gotta get that under control, and you gotta vote in the right people so they can fix your issues that bother your community, and make sure that, hey, once we're gonna actually fight that and make sure that, hey, these people get health care, they get the medical care, they get mental care, they can stay at emergency shelters, that we're going to do that and not just camp inside of the street, because you can't just camp on side of the road where people are trying to go to, because that's going to make it so people don't walk down the road, they don't go in the store, there's no sales tax generated, there's nobody there that's going to pay for rent, there's nobody that's going to do all kinds of stuff. So you see how it catches on, right? So you got to clean up these encampments. You got to make sure that, hey, this is not okay. We got to find different alternatives so people are actually going to invest back into their community and make it thrive. And that has to do with something, hey, we got to make sure that these people are part of society again, and say whatever trash you got, some of it you can keep, some of it you need to, some of your belongings are trash, some of them are not. And we got to make sure that these places are cleaned up, because I'm telling you, if you're going to balance those sheets, you're going to have way more. If you're not going to balance the budget, you're going to have way more problems on your hands than you have right now, because letting go thousands of employees, what they're going to do, they're going to suck off the system. And if you're going to have more sucking off the system, it is going to cost you that is contributing even more, because they got to raise taxes. So it's a catch-22 where it's like, okay, we can't provide a service. There's more. We're going to let more people go. Then these people come unemployed. So it gets even more expensive for LA. And then it's going to be even more homelessness. So you see how the downward spiral starts, right? So what you got to do is you got to nip it in the butt when it starts. But these laws that these people passed has just not been benefiting anybody, where they don't prosecute, they can't do nothing, they can't help business owners. When you call 911, you literally wait on hold for I don't know how long, and it's like, no, you gotta treat your community great. You gotta want police officers to be paid well. You want to train them. You want to do all kinds of stuff, because most police officers are not bad. Are there some of them? Probably. There's shitty people in every profession. There's shitty doctors that use cocaine. There's doctors that do malpractice. That's why they're being sued, right? So there's bad people everywhere, right? And it's like you gotta figure out the right stuff for your own community and go vote. Go vote for the right people so they can put in affordable housing. They make sure that, hey, these people that work at these affordable housings do not make $200,000-$300,000 a year, because those are going to be the people that are going to, those 300 grand that they're paying, or 250, whatever that woman made in that video, is going to take away $100,000+ from somebody else that actually really needs it. That's probably 4 or 5 people that you can help in LA with their money that they're spending on those salaries. And I'm just telling you, you gotta make sure that they allocate the money correctly. And I know people are like, oh, we're trying. Well, you gotta do it fast, because if it's gonna get worse and worse and worse, then communities are gonna suffer. There's gonna be more homelessness, crimes goes up, more lawsuits, more malpractice for police officers, more all of it. So yeah, if you're in a city like that, you gotta make sure. And if you're in the city and you're reading this, you need to make sure, like, hey, who are they gonna lay off? And start Googling and making sure, like, hey, how are we funded? How is this? Do we get grants? Did we not use all the money last year? Is my job good? Is my job safe? Because I know people are gonna be like, it's never gonna hit me. It's never gonna hit me. Teachers are like, oh, we're already understaffed. They're not gonna lay you off. These are politicians. This doesn't go off of logic. This just goes off of impulse, and some random person at a desk that is so removed just gonna say, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna cancel some stuff over here, some stuff over there, and that's just because they have to do it. And it's not gonna be because of logic or anything else. And so yeah, it is gonna be really, really brutal. And I really hope that all of you guys that are watching this from LA, and I know I have viewers from there, that you guys get it under control, because I do not want you guys to become homelessness. And if you are homelessness and watching this, I really hope that they can provide you the help, the services you need to get back and start being a contributing member of society, so that you can get a house, so your dreams can be fulfilled. Because I don't think anybody's dream is to be living on the streets of LA No, I don't think that. So I think that, hey, they all have dreams, they all have aspirations. And once you help them, I think that's going to be really great. If they have drug addictions, you got to help them, get them treatment, got to do stuff. And I know if you have that addiction, I know people that have it, it's so hard of getting off of it. And yeah, if you're working for the city of LA, I'm telling you, it is not fun times. It is really, really not good. But you have tough times and you have great times. You have times in the market where everybody's making money. And then you have times where just nobody's making money and everybody's losing their jobs. And then you need a safety net. And if your city can't provide that safety net, you're in the wrong city, or you got to try to change it. And so only time will tell what's going to happen. Because this is not the only city. Chicago had the same problem, $1 billion deficit, and I think they asked Congress for money. I don't know how that ended. I got to check and make a follow-up video on this one. But yeah, let me know what you guys think below. And yeah, this is Las Vegas today. It's 75. How gorgeous. How gorgeous. So yeah, this was it. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. And if you haven't, please like and subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next one.